Drafting is incredibly complicated, and if you don't know how to draft, it's probably preventing you from reaching Masters. In this video, I'm going to give you the simplest thought process possible to give you the drafting skills of a Masters player, so that you can get Masters yourself. This guide will definitely help you to draft at the level of a Masters player, because quite frankly, half the people I see in Masters don't know how to draft. Think about drafting like this. It is a checklist of variables that change based on the map and the mode. These are the variables that your team needs to consider when you're drafting. The most important variable is the objective of the mode you're in. You have to be able to accomplish that. Other variables are damage. If the enemy team doesn't have enough damage, you can just take advantage of that by drafting tanks that they won't be able to kill. And it's not just damage that's important, it's the ability to actually do that damage, which brings us to our next thing, reliability. You need at least one brawler on your team that can reliably hit shots at range, or you're never gonna have any map control. Like if you draft Gray, Colt, and Buzz, Buzz has no range, Gray's shots are very inconsistent, Colt's shots are very inconsistent. You're gonna need to hit a lot of shots in order to maintain map control. If the enemy team doesn't draft reliable enough brawlers, you can once again take advantage of this with high HP as well as high speed brawlers to run them down. Another factor is survivability, which is especially important in Hot Zone, but you need a team that can actually hold control on the map. So you need a team that can last in fights. If you've got a team that's like Bell, Spike, and Crow, you have pretty bad survivability. And if the enemy hits one or two shots, then all of a sudden you're gonna lose your map control because you're gonna have to fall back to heal. Range is an important and also very dynamic factor. On a map with little walls, sharpshooters are going to have the best range, and they're going to counter throwers. However, on a map with lots of walls, throwers have the longest range unimpeded, which means that they counter sharpshooters and are much more effective. You can transform the map to better fit your strategy with wall breaks. So if you really want to play an Angelo and you don't want to get countered by a thrower, you can pick something like Griff in order to break walls to make your Angelo more effective. I'm not really going to go over matchups in this video because one, that's like a whole video on its own, and two, you're probably going to learn most of that from your own experience. But if you guys want me to, I can make a video on matchups in the future. To get you started, this is the most massively oversimplified matchup guide you'll ever see, and there are exceptions to all of these rules. Tanks usually counter throwers and assassins, and are strong into snipers except on super long range maps. Tanks are countered by high control and high damage. Throwers counter snipers if there's walls, snipers counter throwers if there's no walls. Assassins counter both of them most of the time. Tank counters also counter assassins. Throwers can flip some tank matchups if there's walls, and you can always run down a sniper with Pearl, Meg, or Lola. Also never pick Spike, unless he gets buffed, which he probably will because he's super popular. But alright, now that you have a general idea of the checklist, here's how the actual process of drafting goes down. When you get into a draft, the first thing you do is look at the map and the mode, because that will determine who the best picks are. If you have first pick, you don't ban the best brawlers, you ban the brawlers that are gonna counter whoever you want to play. And this is true even if you have a horrible idea. Like if you really want to first pick Frank, ban Colette, Gale, and Dynamite, or like Lou or something. Make your first pick as strong as possible with your bans. With your early picks, you're gonna want to take brawlers with wide matchup spreads. This is true for both teams. You want to take brawlers like Jessie or Amber or Belle, anything that's useful against a variety of brawlers and in a variety of situations. Obviously varying depending on the map. When you get later into the draft, you can pick more niche brawlers because you're worried about countering the brawlers that are already taken. This is usually where tanks and assassins get drafted if they get drafted, although Meg and Buster are often drafted earlier, and sometimes Frank. And then you get to the last pick. The last pick is the most powerful pick in the draft because you're trying to find the brawler that can do the most damage to the totality of your enemy's comp, as well as cover any bases that your team's comp hasn't already covered. This can be complicated sometimes, but if you pull it off correctly, you'll win a lot of drafts. I'm going to show you an example draft so you can see all of these ideas in practice. And then I'll go into some actual games with randoms and show you how you could think about drafting when you're with a team of randoms. For example 1, we have dueling beetles. In Hot Zone, map control is king. So you need a team that can get control by winning their lanes. You need a team that can hold control, which means they have to have high survivability and high reliability. And you need a team that can retake control, which means you need to have some level of reliability, but you also need to have enough damage. The important map features of dueling beetles are, of course, the unbreakable walls, as well as the regular walls and grass on both sides of the middle, and also the fact that there's nothing impeding the lanes, so the lanes themselves are very long and open. So let's consider a draft with these bans, and we'll see how both teams handle it. You'll see that Blue went quite hard into banning throwers, and this was to facilitate the pick of Jessie. Jessie is one of the best brawlers to pick early on this map because she has a high win rate on this map. Her turret is very hard to get rid of when it's stuck under an unbreakable wall, and she's a very general brawler with a wide matchup spread, so if you pick her first, it's going to be almost impossible for the enemy team to hard counter you. The Barley and Berry bans are because because those brawlers are two very strong brawlers who can safely break Jesse's turret. Now red team is going to pick Buster and Byron. Byron is good because he provides an element of range to his team, and he's also great for survivability, which means that he helps to hold the zone and he can heal the Buster. Buster, of course, thanks to his shield and high HP, has high survivability, and his pull gadget means he's very capable of dealing high damage offensively as well. This is a comp that's very hard to retake against because Buster covers Byron's weaknesses against assassins and throwers. Blue team uses its last two picks on Griff and Pam. Griff is an excellent pick on this map because his wall break makes it easier for his team to retake the zone. He has a very high and consistent damage output, and he's got quite good survivability due to his business resilient star power. Pam is an excellent pick because she also provides consistent fire, and her turret counters Byron's damage over time and massively boosts her team's survivability. It's quite hard for either of Byron or Buster to get rid of Pam's turret. Easily the best pick left on the board now for red is Carl. Carl's range and pierce and his ability to circumvent walls by strafing with his attack means that he's excellent at taking out Pam's turret behind the walls. And besides an unbelievably well-placed Griff piggy bank gadget, nothing is going to stop Carl's super, which means he's free to jump on and assassinate any of these brawlers. This shows the power of last pick, because blue picked a very strong and well-rounded team comp and got some of the best brawlers on this map, and they still got triple countered by the last pick. This is a game that I'd say is maybe 60-40 in favor of red, but this is easily winnable for blue if they play well. We're in game, they count's only legendary 1 right now, which means I'm gonna be farming bums. So yeah, that'll be fun. So this is how a lot of games are gonna go. You're gonna be in a lobby with a bunch of orangutans. You're gonna be the smartest monkey in the zoo, and you're gonna be like, oh wait, the best brawler hasn't been banned. So yeah, if it's healing wins, and you can get Byron or Barry, then like, yeah, be my guest, bro. Especially in knockout, he's gonna give up. With his hypercharge, I really feel like that's just a lame decision. Alright, that was the easiest rank win of my life. Clearly my elo is not high enough, but this just demonstrates that a lot of times the best brawler available doesn't get banned or picked. So you should know who they are. In healing wins, it's Byron and Barry most of the time, and I got Byron, so. Alright, time to ruin more kids' school days. Flaring Phoenix healing, bro. They pick Spike first. Jesus. They pick Fram. Okay. And he insta-locks Surge, so I can't give him a suggestion. Don't play Surge in Knockout because you're not gonna keep your levels. See, this is a teaching moment. If you're in a lobby that's horrible, then just pick whoever your favorite brawler is and just destroy them with that. Okay, what do we learn from this game? 1, they did not pick enough range or enough HP. 2, pick comfort brawlers. Pick brawlers that you're good at. So they're gonna pick Tick, and we're gonna pick Dynamite, so I have a feeling that these people don't know what Quickfire is. Knowing what Quickfire is will win you games, and if you're playing with friends, even if your friends aren't that good, if you just give them good Quickfire brawlers to draft, you'll probably win most of the time. Oh my god! You can't have it all. They're gonna pick Mandy and Lily. I think I'm gonna pick Buster. Buster is very strong on this map in general because he can sort of wait in the back grass and charge a super. I can block Mandy shots. I can block Mandy supers to keep my randoms alive, which is insanely valuable. And I can stop Lily from killing my teammates. Now, how do I prevent my teammate from drafting Crow? Kit is extremely powerful in Knockout. He's going to insta-lock Crow, so I'm actually at a loss for words. I'm gonna ban Barry because I think I have a higher chance of getting Byron than Barry, and I know my teammates aren't gonna ban either of them because they're afraid of tanks because they are kindergartners. You know, actually, underrated strategy would be to pick Poco. The reason I don't want to do that is because I don't know if I can trust my team to pick enough damage. I would love to do something silly like Poco Grey Jackie. I'm just gonna pick Byron because he's the best brawler. God, I've been recording for 30 minutes and I haven't gotten a single instructive draft. Maybe you don't even need to know how to draft. Nita's gonna get a lot of supers off of Chuck and Buster, and her super is going to be great against them because Buster's total damage output isn't super high. Chuck's is pretty bad, and Leon has a very bad reload speed. Let's break this down a little bit. Their team does not have enough range, and believe it or not, they don't have enough damage. They don't have enough damage. They can't do damage at range. It would help if I would remember to heal my teammates once in a while. So what can we learn from this? Buster is good, but he needs people on his team that actually have range, that he can actually defend. You have no range, which means you have no ability to retake the zone. Am I in an asylum? Is this real? Thank you for watching the video. I'm going to go cry in a corner now. Make sure to subscribe because I have some awesome videos, like so cool, coming up. I'm gonna start posting them once a week. So you should stick around for that.